as well as sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. LRN.fm now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated, so send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks, or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. You can bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, we've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. Just head on over to discord.lrn.fm, and you can jump into any one of those rooms. We'll join you in there, and you'll be on the air with us, sounding almost like you're in the studio here. It's Ian, Riley, and Mark. As we continue, I want you to know about LibertyStickers.com. If you want to reach people with the ideas of liberty, you can do it from the back of your car or your laptop or wherever it is. You can place a bumper sticker. You can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker, and you know people love to read them. So check out the vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic liberty-oriented messages at LibertyStickers.com. So the Satanic Temple revealing their Baphomet statue. I mean, they've revealed it previously, but this is a different one. I think they actually have more than one of these. But this one
spending good money on these things.
Yep, is being placed at the Arkansas Capitol building. It was revealed publicly this week. They are seeking a court order to demand that it be installed at the building because, well, some politicians have decided that there needs to be a Ten Commandments monument at that very same location. And we'll tell you more about it.
I will say this, is that this protest is probably very effective. If
it definitely gets attention.
Yeah, if you don't want to have for whatever reason, this is important to you, that the Ten Commandment statues are at courthouses all across America, that this situation could be, probably a pretty effective solution that says, hey, if you want to have your religious icons, then we're going to have ours. Okay, which is the most distasteful religion? Satanism. We'll have a big Baphomet statue. My favorite is the Baphomet statue where they have looks like it's made out of marble and has two small children.
This is the one. There was one that was like all white, and then this one is more of a dark kind of gray color that they have. I don't know what it's made out of, but this is the exact same thing where Baphomet has his hand with the two fingers pointing upward, the other two fingers pointing downward, which is as above, so below. It's kind of an esoteric meaning from what I understand. And then
all esoteric to me.
There's also the two small children who are one girl, one boy. They're sort of at the sides of his legs, sort of looking up at him in awe at Baphomet. And behind him there is a pentagram on a large piece of stone. And so media has been reporting on this all over the place. We're going to go to, of course, your calls and thoughts if you want to share them with us. I think this is really interesting news. I think the Satanic Temple, I'm not a Satanist, I'm a panentheist, so I mean I believe in God, but I think that everything is God and everything's all connected. But the Satanists here, as you point out, Mark, many of them are likely not Satanists, and they're just in the Satanic Temple for the purpose of trolling Christians. And the Christians in Arkansas, the ones who support the Ten Commandments monument at the State House, they deserve every bit of trolling that they're getting in this particular case. If you want to have your religious
interact with
display,
the troll, you're going to get the reaction that you deserve.
Well, they didn't interact with the troll. They wanted to put their religious monument on state property. And, while I don't want to see the state exist, I would like the state to, go away at some point.
Oh, for sure. The state shouldn't exist.
I mean, the state as a concept, it needs to go away. But as long as it exists, and as long as they, are purported to not be of one particular religion, then if they're going to allow one religion to have a religious display somewhere in public on their state property, then they need to allow other religious groups, no matter how well established, whether they be hundreds of years old or brand new as of last week, and the Satanic Temple's been around for several years now, no matter how new that particular religion is, they should be able to have the exact same amount of, floor space or square footage or whatever as the established religions do.
That's why I like the Flying Spaghetti Monster Church better than the Satanic Church, because it is an obvious lampoon, whereas the Satanic Church, I mean, it's got legs. People will tell you stories. I've heard stories of people say, my parents were in a religious cult. They were Satanists. I was in a room where child sacrifices were done.
I've heard stories.
I don't believe this crap at all.
You've heard someone say they were in a room with child sacrifices?
They were a child and child sacrifices were going on in the room. I presume they were just mentally ill.
That's
entirely
crazy.
possible.
Yeah.
It's more likely they're mentally ill than that they were in a room where child sacrifices are occurring. Kids don't just, the quantity of kids that disappear is pretty small.
Yeah. Let's talk to Michael. He's in Virginia listening to WNIS. Go ahead, Michael. You're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, this whole Baphomet thing sounds like a conspiracy to get the child raping clergy off people's mind that should be on everybody's mind, and we should be talking about outlawing these criminal organizations permanently. And
are you talking about outlawing religions?
Criminal religions must be outlawed.
Can you give us an example of a criminal religion?
I want to hear more about this, because obviously child rape is illegal, and it should be. Rape of anybody should be illegal.
For anybody in any occupation.
Yeah, but what is it that needs to be banned exactly? Let's be clear. Please make sure you're clear with us.
The whole hierarchy of a criminal organization that has, since before the time of Christ, perpetuated this pedophile religion.
So you believe that there is an organization that since before the time of Christ has propagated pedophilia in the name of religion?
Oh, that's right. In fact, one of the greatest Roman Catholic historians of all time, Will Durant, documents that very thoroughly in his History of Civilization. Long before Jesus was born, Roman priests were practicing pedophilia as an honorable thing in their minds because it reduced the cost to the state of having to pay for the families of priests.
But what does the Roman priesthood that you're referring to there have to do with the Roman Catholic Church, besides the word Roman?
Well, in 325 A.D., when the Emperor Constantine decided that this ancient cultic pedophile religion was going to suddenly become Christian, they looked at him and said, "You are joking." And they have kept this religion alive, this ancient pagan religion of raping children. They've kept it alive.
What other aspect of the current Roman Catholic Church is Roman priesthood like? I mean, besides this claim that you're making, what other aspect is that they bring along into the Catholic Church?
Well, many of the rituals of the Catholic Church were originally being practiced as abominations long before the birth of Jesus. They still remain, according to the Hebrew Scriptures, abominations.
Michael, I'm curious, how is it that you're going to ban a religion?
Yeah, I'm curious, too.
Just drive it underground, make it popular.
I mean, how would you do that? Would you have police begin raiding churches? I'd like to know exactly what your proposal is there, because it sounds really insane to me, that idea. The toll-free number here, hold your thought. I want you to be real clear on what that is. What exactly would you do if you wanted to ban a religion in the United States? It's Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
Japan grants suffrage to female robots, and a hypochondriac maple tree is always convinced it has Asian longhorn beetles. The following two statements are true. The previous statement is false, and this is the Onion Week in Review. This week, Americans nationwide were stunned to hear horrific allegations on Wall Street revealing that numerous junior bankers have been forced to survive on a mere $6,800 per week. The findings, which implicate numerous high-profile financial institutions such as Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank, suggest that hundreds of first-year bankers are constantly deprived of basic necessities, including penthouse apartments overlooking Central Park and regular company-financed vacations to the French Riviera.
Many of these bankers are 23 or 24 years old and don't even have access to an expense account of over $50,000 a year. Not only that, but some of them are making as little as 20 times minimum wage. I mean, this is truly disgraceful.
This is the Onion News Network.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. It's the live Saturday edition of the program. We're talking generally about religion, the freedom of religion in the United States, and part of that is to separate the state from religion. That was kind of one of the reasons why a lot of people migrated here, at least from the UK, was that there was a state-approved religion there.
And they wanted the ability to practice their religion.
That's
Germany,
correct.
France, I remember the Huguenots, the Amish. Lots of people wanted their freedom to practice their religion. Now, mind you, when the English got over here, the Puritans got over here, they went right about creating a state religion as fast as they possibly could, up to and including killing 4 Quakers, including a woman named Dyer, ironically enough. So, I mean, this is what people do, is that they try to protect their notion. As a matter of fact, at the time of the English Revolution, this is when all these the printing press had come into play. People were getting copies of the Bible. They're saying, these priests aren't telling us to do this isn't what the Bible says. So they were getting their own interpretation of the Bible. This time was called social anarchy. The idea, it was crazy. The idea papists and Anglicans and Protestants and reformers could possibly live together in harmony. That's ridiculous. They use the term anarchy to describe it. It's fascinating that now we live like that all the time. Neighborhoods, I would say nearly all neighborhoods in America are almost entirely mixed from a religious standpoint.
So it used to be that there were some people who supported a state religion. At that time, other religions would be prohibited. We now have somebody on the line with us, Michael in Virginia, who sounds like he's advocating for Catholicism to actually be prohibited in the United States. And I want to make sure that that's exactly what you're asking for, Michael. You want to prohibit anyone from being a Catholic or meeting publicly as Catholics? What are you looking to do?
Well, when we find somebody that has a criminal organization being in operation, we don't say, well, we're going to go out and arrest everyone that belongs to that ethnic group. We deal directly with the organization. What we have been doing with these Catholic pedophile organizations is when we found them breaking our laws, we've given them a pass. We have not enforced our laws.
When did this occur? When did the United States, I presume we're talking about? You're saying we. When did the United States overlook the breaking of laws by Catholic priests?
Well, just the issue of this child rape that they put on the front page in the last week is just one of thousands of examples.
Okay, so are you saying that you want to have priests arrested, but you don't want to ban the religion?
What I'm saying is anybody that has been a participant in the hierarchy of an organization that is there to perpetuate crime has to be arrested. All their resources that they have piled up while committing
so
the crime.
Let's just clarify. Are you saying that just the rapist priest should be arrested, or that every priest in the church, whether or not you know for sure if they've been raping, simply because they are a priest, they're part of a conspiracy, therefore arrest all priests in the Catholic Church, or just the ones who are accused of rape?
Not all priests, because I know some that have been very helpful.
Okay, all right. Then you weren't clear on what you had said before. I think
because it sounded like you wanted all priests to be arrested.
It did sound that way. It did sound that way. He said
anyone in a hierarchical organization, blah, 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 and we want to seize their assets, which is the showing of the hand, right? This is...
Well, he wants their land and their buildings.
They want the land, the money, and all that other stuff.
The Catholics have a lot of land, by the way.
The Catholic Church is, excluding a government, the largest landowner in the world, as I understand it. That's what was told to me at one point.
Let's go to Bob. He's in Indianapolis listening to WIBC. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I don't know the answer to this, but if you could research it for me, or if you know,
Yeah.
Why is the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid on the back of our $1 bill? I know it has to do something with the Masons.
Yeah, it's something to do with the Masons. The whole country. Most of the people.
And in God we trust. Why is that on our money when it's supposed to be separation of church and state? Thank you.
Oh, okay, you didn't have to hang up. We could have had a conversation with you.
Okay, I'm here.
Mark,
okay.
I think you were trying to respond to his first question.
Yeah, many of the founding fathers were definitely Masons, and there's a lot of Mason, sort of symbolism.
Right, and I think there's also a misunderstanding of that. People think that Masonry is evil. I don't think it's necessarily good or evil. It just is. It's a symbolic
Well, it's secretive, and so whenever you have a secretive organization, you'll inevitably have people believe that there's evil going on or that there are bad things behind those closed doors. To some extent, they are sworn to secrecy on exactly how things work within masonry. But my roommate here is a Mason, and he's a pretty cool guy. So I mean, I got nothing against them. It just seems more like a men's club than anything else.
Best I can tell, yeah.
Yeah, I think you do have to believe in a god in order to join the Masons, but otherwise, it's one of those things where you kind of have to get invited in to the club. And so, Bob, your other part of the question was about In God We Trust. Has that historically always been on U.S. Coinage and in money? Does anybody know?
That was around Eisenhower.
I think it came in place around Eisenhower. Yeah.
It was Eisenhower. Okay. Yeah. Well, then it sounds to me like a clear violation. I don't think that it should be there. I think that if you're going to have separation of church and state, then you should have total separation because some people don't believe in a God.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But I appreciate
you
talking about it.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's talk to Larry. He's also in Indianapolis listening to WIBC. Hello, Larry.
How you doing now?
Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, you know that when you talk about religion, it's usually man who speaks, who creates his God and his religion in his own image, and then on top of that, he creates myths to give his rituals and tradition life. So that's what ends up happening. That's why you can't have church and state. I know the Romans tried it for a while, but they had too many gods, and they had their temple prostitutes and meat market and everything right there in the temple. But you can't have church and state going together. We have a very important case here in the state of Indiana where some counselor, a gay counselor, is being fired because she is married to another gay, which is perfectly legal by law. But what has happened is the Catholic school have accepted vouchers from the government. That's where the contradiction comes in.
Okay, I'm lost here. So there's a Catholic school with a gay student counselor?
Yeah, student counselor who was married and did not let them know that this is a Catholic school, and it was part of her contract that she couldn't do that. So now she's facing being fired.
So wait a minute. So the Catholic school is firing ostensibly this gay person, but on the other hand, they take vouchers. So does that mean that they can't fire the person?
That's the contradiction, and that's why our Constitution says no money shall issue from our treasury for any religious institution. But what they had is a flimsy case in our Supreme Court to overrule that and define it more definitely. They use the definition of give. If the state gives you the person money, then they tried to wash that away. When they said it wouldn't be considered that the treasurer giving them money because they would already give it to somebody else. But
I'm confused. So
the voucher goes to the parent, and then the parent
goes to the parent.
Oh, so the state doesn't actually pay directly to...
Well, they do.
No.
I mean,
well, they do or they don't? Hold on, Mark. Mark says he seems to know something about these vouchers. How does it work?
The idea is the voucher belongs to the parent, so the parent is the one that can give. But as I understand it, the check doesn't go. The state doesn't write the parent a check, and then the parent writes the school a check. The state writes the school the check.
And did you say the Supreme Court has ruled on that case, Larry?
Well, what they ruled, they said that the question was, what is the definition of give? That's what they use.
Thanks for the call tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Sounds like the kind of stupid crap you'd see in a court case, and they probably wrote 20 pages about the definition of give. 855-450-3733. Of course, it'd be best if they didn't take the money from parents in the first place.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com or 888-212-8871.
Don't worry about things you can't control. Isn't that what they always say? But it's about impossible to avoid worrying about what's going on these days. The government has used the war on guns, the war on drugs, and the war on terrorism to tear our Bill of Rights to shreds. But you can fight back. The 10th Amendment Center has proven it, racking up major victories. For example, when the U.S. government claimed authority in the NDAA to have the military kidnap and detain Americans without trial, the nullifiers got a law passed in California, declaring the state's refusal to ever participate in any such thing. Their latest project is offnow.org, nullifying the National Security Agency. They've already gotten model legislation introduced in California, Arizona, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, meant to limit the power of the NSA to spy on Americans in those states. We'd be fools to wait around for the U.S. Congress or courts to roll back Big Brother. Our best chance is nullification and interposition on the state level. Go to offnow.org, print out that model legislation, and get to work nullifying the NSA. The hero Edward Snowden has risked everything to give us this chance. Let's take it. Offnow.org.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live shows 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, the live Saturday edition. We're here. We'll take your calls about whatever's on your mind. Also, we got more on the Satanic Temple unveiling their Baphomet statue at the Arkansas State Capitol building after the state capitol has put up a Ten Commandments statue once again on the Capitol grounds. We'll tell you more about that coming up here. Ian, Riley, and Mark in the studio. Brought to you by Bitcoin.com. If you are new to cryptocurrency, then there's probably no better place to go to get started then Bitcoin.com. They've got a great little Bitcoin Academy that'll take you walk through on the basics of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and of course the new Bitcoin Cash as well. Plus, Bitcoin.com wants you to know that you can also deposit Bitcoin Cash into SaveItPurse.com, which is the website you can use to save easily 20% on anything that you want to purchase through Amazon. I do it all the time. In fact, this last week I've been shooting for 29% off. We're getting some products through SaveItPurse.com for the upcoming project that we've got going on here in the Keene area that's going to be really cool for the cryptocurrency world. That's all I can say about that. But SaveItPurse.com, SaveAtPurse.com. You can now use Bitcoin Cash as your deposit currency there. As we go to your calls and thoughts, we've been, again, discussing the Satanic Temple revealing the Baphomet statue, which is sort of opened up a larger conversation about religion and freedom of religion, which is, I think, ultimately what the Satanic Temple is trying to do here, and point out that if one religion is going to be given special time or special space on a state property, then all of the religions should have the ability to have equal time and equal space. Let's go to Larry. This is a different Larry in New Jersey, listening to WPG. Hello, Larry.
How are you tonight, gentlemen?
Good. You're on the air.
The term "In God We Trust" was first used on United States coinage in 1864 for the 2-cent piece. Then Lincoln himself had directed it to be put on the 2-cent piece because of the religious sentiment during the Civil War. So that's when that started.
Well, what did Eisenhower do then?
They made the term "In God We Trust" the official motto of the country.
Really? So then it appeared on the dollars, but it hadn't appeared on dollars prior to that, but it was just on certain coinage?
It had. It's been on the currency when it started in 1864 with the 2-cent piece.
Okay. And so then it expanded to dollars in, what, the 1913?
Dollars and all the other coins and whatever. And an interesting note is that when the new $10 gold piece was developed under Teddy Roosevelt, he specifically said that he did not want "In God We Trust" on the coinage because money is sometimes used for evil purposes. But it took an act of Congress to put the "In God We Trust" back on the $10 and the $20 gold piece.
Well, I mean, certainly money has been manipulated by men who want to do evil. There's no doubt about that. Sure. Ultimately, the entire fiat money system is a system that's arguably an evil system because it is taxing people. Every time they increase the money supply, you are extracting wealth without the consent of the people from whom it's being extracted and then being transferred to the politically favored.
Just last year, the Federal Reserve has increased the money supply by over $100 billion.
100 billion?
Is that
what you said?
100 billion.
Billion or million?
Increased it. Billion. 100 billion.
Okay.
Yes. And also concerning you saying that God created evil, Einstein had noted this exact argument. His professor had once said that God created evil. Einstein said you can feel cold. Cold is the absence of heat. You can see light. That light is, you can see darkness because darkness is the absence of light. And according to Einstein, evil is the absence of good.
It's an interesting theory.
God did not create evil. It's simply the absence.
Don't spend much time on Ian's theology. It's not very deep. I mean, he's just like he here's a couple of truisms here and there and spits them out. I like the times he's spent talking about his ideas of pantheism when he adds on that extra
pantheism.
Pantheism.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
Right. Also, Mark, one other thing, Mark, the term hobo and bum are not synonymous.
So tell me the difference between a hobo and a bum.
A hobo is some theories as to what the word comes from, but it's generally accepted to mean a ho boy, meaning a guy who works on a farm, an itinerant worker. Hobos are generally work, whereas a bum does not work. And it's actually there's a rule, the rule of hobos. They have certain rules they have to live by. It is also the king of the hobos. and they have certain rules.
Who is the Hobo King?
That's what
I don't know who the current king is, but they hobos work, whereas bums do not. So if they go into the Starbucks, they're bums.
Interesting. Hey, thanks, Larry, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. According to dictionary.com, the number 2 definition is a migratory worker. That's the definition of hobo. And the origin, an Americanism dating back to 1885 to 1890. Its origin uncertain. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. According to NPR, it was there, then it wasn't, like an apparition that happens to involve a forklift, a truck, and a 22-hour drive.
No apparitions involve those things.
A bronze statue, so there you go, it's not marble, this one is bronze, of a goat-headed and winged creature appeared for a handful of hours at the foot of the state capitol in Little Rock, Arkansas on Thursday. Lucian Graves, the founder of the Satanic Temple, told the cheering crowd that had gathered for the First Amendment rally, quote, "I present to you Baphomet," unquote. The 7.5-foot figure, that's a big statue, is
these atheist trolls pay a lot of money for this trolling that they do.
It's a symbol of pluralism, legal equality, tolerance, and reconciliation for Satanists, Greaves explained to NPR Friday, and the reason he had it hauled out of storage to that particular site was to protest another monument permanently installed on the grounds, the Ten Commandments.
Right, and so this is worth pointing out, is that this is all in reaction to
correct
Ten Commandments being put up, in many cases, decades ago here across the United States by, I think, the American Legion. I can't remember what organization was doing it. Knights of Columbus, perhaps. And basically, these people got all upset that the Ten Commandments are there and stuff, and then they wanted to have their own statue, and their statue had to be as bombastic as possible, so they had a goat-headed creature. Don't forget the kids worshiping at its feet.
So it does mention here, the NPR story, that it was a few years ago, NPR's Bill Chappell reported, quote, "The first version of a Ten Commandments monument at the Arkansas Capitol lasted less than 24 hours before it was destroyed by a car."
Yeah, that's going to happen.
The same man responsible for its destruction also destroyed the Ten Commandments monument in Oklahoma. Now, I did not realize that it was the same guy. I didn't know it had happened twice at two capitals. I knew it had happened at one of them. I just didn't remember which capital it was, where the guy crashed into it with a car, claiming that he was like an agent of Satan or something like that. He said that it wasn't him who did it. It was the devil or something who told him to do it, if I'm recalling the story correctly. It must be the same guy, because apparently he did it twice, once in Oklahoma and then once in Arkansas. So then apparently there was...
Claim to be a Satanist, and you're going to find a lot of loonies.
I don't know. I think the whole idea of the devil made me do is weak defense.
Yeah, it's not going to...
It's the devil cannot make you do something. He can probably whisper in your ear or whatever and say, "Here, do this," but he cannot force you to do something.
If you believe in the devil. Satanic Temple is a national organization with 15 chapters in the United States and one in Canada. They object to exclusively Christian religious displays on public property and argue that public spaces should be free from religious messaging or be opened up to representations of all faiths, including Satanist icons. Greaves said at his lectern at Thursday's rally, quote, "We have as little interest in forcing our beliefs and symbols upon you as we do in having the beliefs of others forced upon us." And it's important to point out that they didn't ask for this until the Christian monument showed up. It's not like the Satanic Temple's going around trying to get their monument put anywhere where there are no monuments. It's only once the Christians make a move. And in this case, it was Republican Senator Jason Rapert who sponsored a 2015 bill that approved the Ten Commandments placement on the Capitol grounds.
He had to know how this was going to go.
He said that he, quote, "respects everyone's right to free speech under the First Amendment," but continued to say, quote, "The people of Arkansas have a right to say that we disagree with your profane statements and really a war on the Ten Commandments. It will be a very cold day in hell before an offensive statue will be forced upon us to be permanently erected on the grounds of the Arkansas State Capitol."
I suspect the Arkansas Supreme Court has cold weather on the mind here for Mr. Rapert.
We got more on the way. Hour number 2 coming up. The number for you to join us, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
Have you experienced the miracle of CBDs? They can help you reduce suffering, reduce stress, help you sleep better, modulate inflammation in the body, and is absolutely safe. Meta Hemp Solutions offers a radically innovative approach to CBDs for exceptional results. Stop suffering and reduce your stress now. Isn't it time for a good night's sleep? Stop worrying about tomorrow today. Lab tested for potency, purity, and is non-psychoactive. Free shipping to all 50 states. Try our product risk-free, money-back guarantee. Use code GCN15 to get 15% off. That's code GCN15 to get 15% off. Offer ends soon, so visit MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com or call 833-858-7500. Suffer no more. Get rid of the stress and sleep better. Get our product now at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, August 18th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.80 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,185 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,385. Antiwar.com reports this week President Trump signed a new order delegating additional powers to the Pentagon to carry out offensive cyber attacks against America's adversaries. The order greatly pares back limitations in place under the Obama administration. This is the latest in a series of orders designed to not only increase U.S. cyber attack capabilities, but also to obscure decision-making authority on carrying out major overseas attacks aimed at disrupting online networks for military purposes. Analysts are suggesting the order is related to speculation Russia might interfere with the midterm election and explicitly authorizes the Pentagon to preempt in-progress operations through offensive means. It's not clear how many major offensive cyber strikes the U.S. has carried out in recent years. In general, the specifics on who is behind any given attack are not made public, and the administration has not claimed credit for any of them. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports President Donald Trump said Friday he canceled his long-wanted military parade in Washington, D.C. because of its ridiculous $92 million price tag. The Pentagon, which offered the price estimate, postponed the parade on Thursday to an undetermined date in 2019. Trump explained on Friday his reasons, writing, "Maybe we will do something next year in D.C. when the cost comes way down." The cost is considerably higher than the $10 to $30 million originally estimated by White House Budget Director Mike Mulvaney, which was based on a cost of a 1991 Gulf War victory parade in Washington. That parade cost about $8 million. After adjusting for inflation and factoring in security, transportation, and other expenses, estimated cost ballooned to $92 million, considered the uppermost estimate. About $50 million would have come from the Defense Department and $42 million from the Department of Homeland Security. The parade was meant as a tribute to service members and would have coincided with Veterans Day and the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. Some have criticized the parade is excessive. One senior U.S. official told NBC News, "There's only one person who wants this parade," referring to Trump. In 2 tweets on Friday, Trump suggested he would attend a celebration in Paris on the weekend in November the parade was set for. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Thursday approved Teva Pharmaceuticals' generic version of Mylan NV's life-saving allergy injection EpiPen at a time when regulators are looking to lower healthcare costs. EpiPen is a handheld device that treats life-threatening allergic reactions by automatically injecting a dose of epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. The agency had already approved several epinephrine auto-injectors, including Adrenalic and Auvi-Q. In addition, Mylan launched authorized generic versions of EpiPen in 2016. There has also been a shortage of EpiPen in North America, Europe, and Canada since earlier this year due to manufacturing delays, and the FDA in May added the treatment to its list of drugs in shortage. FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb said this approval means patients living with severe allergies who require constant access to life-saving epinephrine should have a lower-cost option, as well as another approved product to help protect against potential drug shortages. Mylan has come under intense regulatory and political scrutiny over the past few years due to the surging price of EpiPen, which the drug maker acquired in 2007 and then raised the price for treatment. The company last year finalized a $465 million settlement resolving the U.S. Justice Department's claims of overcharging the government for the EpiPen. In 2016, Teva Pharmaceuticals failed to get the regulator's nod for a generic version of EpiPen. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Republicans back a plan for universal lawn care, and an RC car works up the courage to approach a group of girls. And now a recap of the week's news for those who like to waste their summers surfing the internet. Fall, the long-running series of shorter days and cooler nights, was canceled this week after nearly 3 billion seasons on Earth. The classic period of the year, which once occupied the coveted slot between summer and winter, will be replaced by new stifling humidity levels and near-constant sunshine. A shiny, bobbing object in the water is generating fascination among members of the fish community, who have described it as pleasingly wiggly and minnow-esque. Aquatic experts say that decisive action must be taken against the object very soon. In local news, just when 27-year-old Andrew Sheets didn't think his vacation could get any better, a rerun of Spin City came on. And in other headlines, a bee stuck between the screen and front door is going nuts. And a water skier lets go of the crossbar to greet those not currently water skiing.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here as we launch into the second hour of the program. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, we get the chance. I know, Mark, you've had a story about this David Hogg character who has, I guess, made it into the news yet again. This is the young man who was making headlines all over the place after the Parkland school shooting earlier this year, I believe it was. So there's some news regarding him and some hypocrisy, let's just say. We can get into that. Joining you, by the way, in the studio tonight, it's me, Ian.
Riley.
And Mark.
For those of you just tuning in, we started the show with the news about the Satanic Temple. They are back making headlines out of Arkansas, where they trucked down, I presume, from maybe from the Boston area, because I know the Satanic's head offices is actually in Salem, Massachusetts, which was an interesting choice for a location. And they trucked down the 7 or 8 foot tall statue of Baphomet down into the Arkansas state capitol because, well, apparently the state government passed a law in 2015 that approved the 10 Commandments being placed on the Capitol grounds. And once they did place the 10 Commandments statue on the Capitol grounds, the Satanists began their plans to bring their apparently 7.5 foot figure down there as well. They unveiled it publicly this week, and apparently the crowd there was mixed. They had a group of Satanists and even some Christians, and apparently the KKK came out as well. So strange mixing. Politics makes for strange bedfellows.
Oh, it does. For
sure. Some of them were probably they're protesting the event as well. So guess I wanted to just share this because I don't expect anybody to actually, nobody has yet called in to say that, no, we only need to have the Ten Commandments statue and that's it. Although that's certainly what the senator who sponsored the bill in this case believes, Republican State Senator Jason Rapert, who sponsored the bill, again, that put the Ten Commandments on the Capitol grounds, who said that it will be a cold day in hell before an offensive statue will be forced upon us. So he means offensive to him.
So I do want to say one thing real quick.
Sure.
I know a lot of Christians out there listening will find the Church of Satan offensive.
This is the Satanic Temple, not the same thing as the Church of Satan.
Okay, so the Satanic Temple.
To somebody, but I don't really care the difference.
Right.
It's all the same to me.
But I want to ask them...
Well, that would be like saying the Mormons are the same thing as the Presbyterians, and they're not the same.
Yeah, good point.
They may both be Christians, but they're not the same. And the Church of Satan doesn't make any headlines these days. I don't even know if they have any kind of presence. But the Satanic Temple, as you pointed out, Mark, does appear to be kind of a group of atheist trolls. But I'm sorry, Riley, you were making a point.
But I was going to ask the Christians out there, you find the Satanic Temple offensive. What about Islam? What about Islam, and what if they decide to put a monument next to your Ten Commandments? Would you find that offensive as well?
Oh, I would imagine they would. I mean, these people seem to be offended by just about everything. They believe, and I'm not speaking of all Christians, obviously, but the ones that make a bunch of noise. Yeah, the ones that make a bunch of noise. They seem to believe there's some kind of a war against Christianity going on in the United States, even though, as Lucian Greaves from the Satanic Temple has pointed out here, this isn't an attack against Christianity. This is just simply them saying, hey, look, if you get to have your little statue, we get to have our statue as well.
One thing's for certain is the United States is changing. And as it changes, the governments, the state governments, the federal government, it's becoming less and less Christian over time, right?
The government, I would say, should not be Christian at all. But yeah, I would say over time it should be going less and less Christian if it was
That's
ever
what's happening
at all.
So I can see why somebody thinks that things are changing, and they're changing in a way that I find undesirable. That's an attack on me. They're wrong. That's not philosophically. It doesn't make much sense, but. Yeah, this is ultimately, if you want freedom for your religion, you're going to have freedom for other people, freedom for other people's religion.
That's how it works. That's how freedom works.
And some religions may be very distasteful to your theological mind. So
yeah, many of them are.
Yeah.
Well, of course, because most people who have religion believe that their religion is the one true way, and so they find the other ones to be offensive, because they believe that the other ones are going to lead it. Certainly, and again, I'm not speaking of absolutely everybody. Obviously, some people are pretty open-minded with their religions, but a lot of these religious folks, they believe theirs is the one true way, and any other way is going to lead you to some sort of evil, fiery place, and so therefore every other religion's a threat to all of their neighbors, and they need to save their neighbors from that looming threat of eternal damnation.
Right. I don't find statues that other people paid for to be particularly upsetting. Right, like so. Oh, you're telling me that there's 6 square feet of courthouse lawn that's going to be given to this Ten Commandments statue? Okay, well, I've got bigger fish to fry.
What if the statue was profane, though? Would that be upsetting? Like if it was,
is it in Arkansas?
Sure, we're talking about Arkansas.
Okay, fine.
Sure, yeah.
I don't care.
What if it was, down the street from your house?
Well, they put all kinds of statues I don't like, near my house.
I wouldn't notice the statues, I'm sure.
Sure. Well, you're blind for listeners that didn't know that. But, well, I mean, you could touch the statues, but yeah, you wouldn't notice. You certainly wouldn't notice them.
Right.
What if it were, like a statue to human sexuality, and it was like, 2 people having sex, like something that would be very offensive to
That's not religion,
people.
But... why would you put that on the courthouse lawn? Would be
no.
question.
I'm not saying on the courthouse lawn. I thought we were just talking about statues being offensive.
Existing,
like on private property, but where people could see it.
You can do whatever you want on your private property, as far as I'm concerned.
Really? You didn't used to think that.
Well, I think it's offensive if somebody puts big, giant phalluses or something.
Weren't you offended by like a snow phallus in the past?
Yes, I think that you could expect people to come along and kick over your snow phallus if you make a snow
What
phallus.
if it's a bronze snow phallus?
You're going to have a harder time.
Might hurt your foot.
Indeed. The Satanic Temple, by the way, isn't the only group opposing Senator Rapert's monument.
Say to my son, look, Jack, idiots live at that house.
The group is trying to join a lawsuit filed by the state chapter of the ACLU, which argues that the display is discriminatory and unconstitutional. A judge will determine whether the group can join the case. The half-goat, half-man statue of Baphomet was originally commissioned to protest the Ten Commandments statue in Oklahoma, but in 2015, the state Supreme Court decision ruled that statue, the Ten Commandments, was unconstitutional. At least I presume that's the way they're writing this paragraph, and so Graves withdrew the. It's really not clear whether the Supreme Court ruled the Ten Commandments statue unconstitutional or the Baphomet statue, but I'm going to presume they ruled the Ten Commandments statue unconstitutional without having actually checked that particular fact. And so now they're moving it to Arkansas, and they are hoping to get a court order to have it permanently installed. If you want to share your thoughts, you're welcome to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Let's change gears and get to David Hogg. This is the teenager who made headlines and was basically the media darling after the Parkland school shooting down in Florida earlier this year. He's still making headlines. I remember seeing some really annoying photo of him and another group of young people lying in the aisles at what I believe was a public supermarket down somewhere in Florida. They had something that they called a die-in, where the people participating in the protest were pretending as though they were dead or dying and then dead in the store's aisles. And I'm not sure for what reason they were protesting inside of Publix. I did not actually look at the story.
That's where the people are.
They gotta find the people so they can make a huge statement.
I don't know how many people are going to be in the milk section of the Publix. I mean, there's going to be people because Publix is a pretty popular grocery store, but you're not really going to be seen by a whole lot of folks if you're just over in the milk aisle or whatever it was.
Well, you're going to get people's attention, and then maybe the press will come.
It definitely got attention. I mean, it definitely did make headlines, and it's a stupid, annoying form of protest to stand in the way of people trying to go about their business. I've always been frustrated by protesters who block traffic, and ultimately that's what these folks were doing, except they did it on private property rather than going and standing in the streets. So what's the latest on this guy?
Yeah, this comes from the AmericanMirror.com, so it's a blog post basically. But it's hard to these days. It's hard to tell the difference between a blog post and an article. And bloggers basically report the news more than journalists do these days. David Hogg protests outside the NRA HQ, protected by armed guards.
Sounds like some hypocrisy. We'll tell you more about it coming up here in moments. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Whether you want to talk about Baphomet, the Satanic Temple, or annoying protests. It's Free Talk Live.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever is on your mind. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, we've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. You can jump into any one of those rooms, and we will join you, and you'll be on the air with us. In the studio tonight, you've got Ian,
Riley,
and Mark.
Also, don't forget about Zencash. It is a cryptocurrency. And I understand there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there in the world. There are thousands of them, as a matter of fact. I think there are around 1,800 of them that are cataloged over at coinmarketcap.com. And Zencash is, I believe, currently in the top 100. I'm not sure exactly which position it is ranked by market cap at the moment. But it's worth talking about because it was founded by voluntarists, by people who believe in liberty, people who understand good economics, and people who understand money. They created Zencash in order to give you a choice and actually give you a private option as well in the world of cryptocurrency, because they've got zero-knowledge anonymity. So because they started in 2017, they're relatively new on the scene, they were able to use some of the best technology out there to create Zencash. Mark, you...
yeah, Zencash is number 76 at coincap.io.
What's the current price right now? Do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, it says $25.
Oh, it's up a bit over the last few days.
Oh, prices. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the 24-hour VWAP or whatever the heck that is.
I don't know what that is.
Me either. It looks like it might be $19.
Okay.
$19.4.
So you want to go learn more about Zencash, head over to zencash.com, and you can read their white paper or just look over the website. You'll learn about their secure nodes and the brand new super nodes, which will be advancing the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. You can go and learn more Once again, Zencash.com. Grab the official Zencash wallet for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Once again, Zencash.com. So, Mark, you're sharing with us about David Hogg, the protester, the angry teenager after the shootings in Parkland School in Florida.
I thought you could only be an angry protester if you're a Republican.
Why would that be?
That's just the seems to be the zeitgeist, the ongoing narrative.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. I've seen angry
men,
protesters everywhere. I mean, did you see the people after Trump's election? Those were definitely not Republicans that were protesting
Hogg
there.
and his ilk are just poor children who have been thrown into a situation.
They've got to have that narrative to bring on the sympathies of people.
So I was informed of what the Publix protest was. Publix, for those that don't know, is a very popular supermarket chain in the Southeast, and apparently Hogg and some of his cohorts laid down in the aisles of a local Publix, presumably somewhere in Florida. And according to Big Ben from Canada in our Discord chat, he says the Publix protest was because they donated presumably Publix, to a House candidate that was endorsed by the NRA, and so that's why they went and laid down in the aisles. In fact, Big Ben from Canada is actually on one of our call-in lines on Discord. I just noticed that. Are you there with us, Big Ben?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey,
I was going to talk about something besides the David Hogg issue,
Sure.
but if you want to just...
No. I was just bringing you in. You were there, and you just happened to be the person who gave us the information about what that protest was.
Yeah. Anyways, what I wanted to do is I want to play devil's advocate on behalf of religion.
Sure.
Okay. So it's more in a morally relativistic question, but can you, without getting into kind of religious values, justify the existence of charity, which religion played a big role in establishing in society?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Okay. Without getting into kind of religious dogma, can you justify the existence of charity?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely, that would be easy to do.
Humans helping others.
Yeah, it's humans helping others without some force or some entity saying you have to help this person.
It's voluntary action to assist people, which generally is, I think, driven by empathy, the ability to empathize with another human being, to put yourself in their shoes, to feel as though you would not want to be in their position. You want to help that person get out of that position because you yourself would not want to experience that. That could be some people's motivation for it.
Yeah, I think that Big Ben's right, though, that religion has played a large role in charity, at least in this nation and probably around the world.
He took a position. He asked a question.
He said he'd play devil's advocate for religion, and I think that that's fair to note. However, what I would say, Big Ben, is that I support all kinds of charitable causes, and I don't do it because I think that God wants me to. That's not the particular reason that I do it. My understanding of God wouldn't particularly matter. That's not the reasons that we do it. And I can tell you, my wife is basically an atheist, and she's all for it. So, that's just one small sample, but it's true for my life.
There is. I don't believe that there is as strong of an economic argument for charity as there is a moral argument for it, and therefore, I was seeking justification from an agnostic or atheist point of view.
Yeah, I mean the morality is the ability to help others and how important it is for humans to help others. I mean, we ultimately, no man is an island. We all do need to have
We're a communal
people,
beast.
Yeah, we need to have people in our lives.
We have to have social networks in order to survive. That's just how we are.
Anything else you want to share?
I'm sure the Ayn Randians, subjectivists, might criticize such a notion, but
I am actually a huge fan of Ayn Rand, and I would probably tend to agree to some extent, but
that they would object to charity, or what? What is? I don't know enough about Ayn Rand.
I can't really answer this question too well because I don't know enough about Ayn Rand's philosophy to answer the question.
I thought you were a huge fan of her.
I am, but I don't know enough about her philosophy.
So what I would say regarding that is that the Randians would likely say something to the effect of, you should spend your time doing the things that you're good at and the things that you want to pursue.
Some people are good at helping others.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a problem with altruism, and it seems to get very murky around the topic of charity. Certainly, charity in some cases enables people who make bad decisions to continue to make bad decisions. In other cases, charity enables people who would otherwise make good decisions to make better decisions. So for me, I'm generally for charities that try to check on people and make sure that
try to give people a hand up rather than a handout.
Absolutely.
To make sure that they're actually using the money that they're getting, if they're getting money, in an appropriate and responsible manner. And these are all things that charities are more likely to do than, say, government wealth redistribution, where as long as you fill out the right forms, you get the check. You know, it's not really a concerned individual who's administrating that check to you in a lot of cases. They're just functionary bureaucrats who sit and process paperwork all day, whereas a charity has a much greater moral interest in making sure that their money is being spent wisely. Big Ben, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate the question. The toll-free number, if you want to join us here, whether you want to talk about charity, this David Hogg character, which you're saying he's a total hypocrite. He had armed guards, apparently, at a recent protest. If there's more to that, you can share that story.
I'm not calling him a hypocrite. I think that personalities need armed guards.
But he advocates against guns, so that makes him a hypocrite. It's Free Talk Live.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out, so you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. We're doing the live Saturday edition of the program. As always, you're invited to join us here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. David Hogg, the teenager protester, anti-gunner from Florida, apparently spotted at a protest recently.
I like my guns.
With armed guards. It's Ian, Riley, and Mark in the studio here. In fact, Riley is with us, Riley Blake from Anarcho Agenda, which is a podcast at anarchoagenda.libsyn.com. Am I right with that?
Yep, that's correct.
You're blind, and you went shooting this week, although it wasn't for the first time.
Oh, no. I've been shooting quite a few times with my family members, friends, and Chris Reedman, the Thursday night host, took me shooting on Thursday, and I actually shot a .22 rifle. I've shot .22 rifles before, so that's nothing new to me, and I enjoyed shooting a .22 rifle. I think it's a fun gun to shoot. It's definitely more friendly than, let's say, a shotgun. I have never shot a shotgun. I would not want to shoot one.
I've never shot one either.
It's rather abrupt.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Kick gun your butt. But I've also, for the first time, shot a .22 pistol, and that was a fun gun to shoot. And the AR-15. So,
oh, good.
I've actually got a chance to shoot one of the guns that is so terrible that these gun-grabbing people want to grab, and it was a fun gun to shoot.
The funny part about that is that they want to grab the AR-15, but the .22 long round is the most used round in killings in the United States.
Is that right?
It's the deadliest round.
The 22.
The .22 that, this silly little thing, Riley, right? Like it's compared to firing...
The .22 is a toy compared to every other gun.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it
really
feels.
Is.
They call it a plinker, for instance.
Yeah.
And however, it's...
I've heard of people getting shot in the head with a .22 and surviving it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
No, I wouldn't either, but I've heard of it. I don't know how often that happens, but... Anyway, going on here, we can talk more about Hogg in a moment. Let's go to your calls and thoughts. You can bring up anything that you want. Let's talk to Dan in Virginia, listening to WNIS. Hello, Dan.
Hey, you guys.
Hey.
It's good listening to your show. Sometimes listening to you guys talk is better than the show itself.
Isn't that?
Yeah, I would not recommend getting shot in the head with a .22. I would definitely agree with
really
you on
bad.
that.
Yeah,
definitely really bad.
Yeah.
Probably quite uncomfortable, yes.
It's deadly.
And I'm sorry, I wanted to call in when the debate was a little more heated on the statue crap, but I just, this is my opinion on this whole statue thing.
Yeah, you're talking about the Satanic Temple just for listeners just
whatever,
tuning in.
It doesn't matter whether it's the Ten Commandments, the Muslim mosque, whatever it is. I hear these debates, and especially on the Christian side, you just have to forgive me. I'm not trying to offend any Christian in any way, but if you've got a God that made the earth and split the Red Sea, and then he sent his son and he actually raised him from the dead, do you really think he's got a problem with a statue? And if he did, he could do the earthquake thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just make their God so much smaller when they get into these petty debates about statues and symbolism. True religion transforms an individual. No matter what kind of religion it is, it transforms that individual into a better person.
At least it should.
You don't need statues. Yeah, well, at least it should, but you don't need statues. And to me, fundamentalist religion is the lowest form of religion on the earth.
Right. To some extent, if you follow all the rules, it shows that you don't have that much of a relationship. You're busy looking for the rules. You're looking for reading the books and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's not about this juridical system of do good and don't do good. Whatever your God is, I hope you're having a personal relationship with them to where your life is being enlightened, and you don't have to waste time figuring out whether a statue you put up or somebody else put up is really going to, if that's all you've got, maybe you should look for a different religion.
It's a great point.
That's my 2 cents.
Dan, thanks for calling to share that tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Let's talk to Denise. She's on the line listening in Indianapolis to WIBC-FM. Hello, Denise.
Yes. When they talk about charity in the Old Testament or in the New Testament, the greatest of these is charity, and it's from the King James Version. And charity actually means love. It doesn't have anything to do with giving to charity.
I think they have different words. So in the King James Version, you're correct. Charity is a form of love, and they're specific on that. So that 2 Corinthians 1 is what you just quoted there, which is a great verse. But I think it's more powerful personally. I prefer it in the New International Version, where they use the term love as opposed to charity. But in the giving of alms existed prior to Christ. This was a relatively common practice.
Oh yeah, I know about that. But that was Moses with Melchizedek in the beginning. So, he tithed to Melchizedek.
I don't know who that is.
Melchizedek is, I would assume, a great religious...
Okay, that doesn't answer anything for me. What's that, Riley?
Melchizedek is a great religious person from the Old Testament era. I believe Abraham paid tithes to Melchizedek.
Was he respected as a god? Is that why he was receiving tithes?
No, he was not respected as a god. He was just respected as a great religious person.
Melchizedek was actually a theophany. It was Christ.
Okay, I still am completely lost. You're saying this guy Melchizedek was Christ?
Yes. Yes.
Mark, you've read the Bible multiple times. What do you have to say about this? You don't remember that part?
I know the name, but I couldn't tell you, that much about it. People pick out different parts of this 1,400-page book, and say, this is important or that is important. Wikipedia has a little bit here on Melchizedek that I'm looking, and I didn't pronounce it the same way that she does. Not to say she's right or wrong, just it's not the way it was pronounced in my Christian school.
Denise, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. And you did go to an actual religious, high school? What was it? Middle school? Where was it?
It was just a school. It went from
elementary
kindergarten through 12th grade. I went to the public school at 9th grade, so I've gone to both private and public.
I see. All right, so any other comments on Melchizedek or whatever? Okay, yeah, I never heard of that person before. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE, whether you want to comment on the Satanic Temple statue being unveiled down in Arkansas or the David Hogg protest, which apparently it was an anti-gun protest, but he was backed up by armed men.
That's correct. And that makes a lot of sense for a personality. You probably should be. Here, this is from theamericanmirror.com. Anti-gun protester David Hogg hates guns, but apparently not enough to be protected by them. Not to be protected by them, excuse me. Hogg and a collective of anti-Second Amendment agitators protested outside the NRA headquarters on Saturday. And as the group points out, he was protected by armed guards. This is a tweet from the NRA today. David Hogg with armed security and a bunch of gun-grabbing activists protested our empty HQ. There were some interesting people there. Our social team chatted up the crowd and ended the day with ice cream paid for by Everytown. Stay tuned for our video interviews. And it says the NRA's photos show, among other things, Hogg with several security agents. For his part, Hogg unwittingly tweeted a photo showing additional armed security protecting him. In an attempt to ridicule the pro-NRA, pro-Second Amendment counter-protesters, the student undermined his own message, says here, NRA's tweet says that everything that I said there. And then Hogg says, LOL, y'all literally had 25 people in front of your headquarters. We had at 1,500, not to mention several of yours were in Confederate shirts. We all know how that war went. So there, Hogg's photo shows at least 3
So he
men.
was trying to suggest they were racists?
Yeah,
That
I mean,
probably
that's,
could be the suggestion or just crazy.
yeah. Hogg's photo shows at least 3 men who appear to be security agents. Armed police officers stand out in the parking lot ready to protect the teen with big bad guns. Additional security seems to be here, so he posts, and there are people in sunglasses, who knows. Nothing like calling BS on the NRA and registered voters at their doorstep, so he's saying, I don't know, the NRA is bad and stuff.
Okay, toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. I don't really know if there's much else to that story. Just he's a hypocrite, right?
People who want to take your guns always want to be protected by people with guns.
We're coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Free Talk Live.
So we had a guy call in on Saturday, and he was really kind of befuddled as to why anyone would alter their consciousness at all. Like, he had done a little bit of drinking when he was younger, but he's an older guy, and he just really couldn't get it. And I imagine it's really kind of difficult for somebody who doesn't get it. It's really easy to look down your nose at that point. I imagine it's really difficult for people like that to understand, but the fact is that if you're not altering your consciousness as a being on this planet, you're probably in the minority.
Or at some point in your life. Because some people, they kind of get out of it when they get older for whatever reason. They just get tired of it, or they've had enough of that experience.
By definition, caffeine is a drug.
It sure is.
Absolutely. It's a consciousness-altering drug to some
Wait
extent.
until you give me a can of Diet Coke. I will flip out right here.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Dial on in, toll free, take control of the airwaves here. Live Saturday edition continuing. Our number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, it's Ian,
Riley,
and Mark.
We've also got our website over at freetalklive.com where you can enjoy archives and so much more, all completely free. Many talk radio hosts want to charge you for accessing their websites. We give it all away over at freetalklive.com.
They put it behind a paywall, obviously, and they want you to sign up for their programs so you can be a member of their club.
Yep, they definitely do that. We do have a club, but you don't have to join it to get all the stuff. So you can just go to freetalklive.com and grab archives and much more. In fact, we've got live streaming video through our Twitch channel. We're also available on YouTube in a lower resolution, but if you want HD quality, you can watch us on Twitch, and that's all free to anybody that wants to watch and anybody that wants to listen over at freetalklive.com. We got our Discord chat rooms, which are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners and some of the hosts. I don't know if you're in there tonight, Mark, but you've been known to make an appearance in Discord from time to time. I'm in there
not
pretty
right
much,
now, but I can go pop in.
I'm in there pretty much every single day, all the time. We go to your calls, your thoughts. And by the way, if you want to get on our Discord server, go to discord.lrn.fm. Let's talk to Lewis. He is calling, I believe, in Kansas, listening to KINA. Hey, Lewis.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, great. You're on the air.
You got a great. I don't get a chance to listen to you guys much. I guess I'm usually not at work. I happen to be at work and had the radio on and
excellent.
Was listening in, and it sounds like we got a smattering of all types of religiosity and or the lack thereof.
Yeah, I would say at least on this show behind the microphones, I'm a panentheist. Riley, I don't know how you describe. I know you were raised Mormon.
Yeah, I would describe myself as a Mormon.
Maybe a questioning Mormon or something like that. A Mormon exploring the rest of the options in the world.
Exactly. I want to keep my options open, but I do tend to stay pretty well within the mainstream Mormonism for a while.
And Mark, you are a Quaker.
Yes.
Okay. So, Lewis, go ahead with your comments.
Well, we were founded as a Christian nation. I know there's always, in the name of religion, there's always been all sorts of, infighting, and you made the point.
Now, do you consider deists to be Christians?
No.
Weren't a bunch of the founding fathers deists?
Yeah, but the predominance of our nation was founded on the Christian religion. Our Constitution was taken directly from the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Oh yeah.
Well,
thou shalt not kill.
Madison,
thou shalt not.
So Madison
all
wrote the Constitution.
Ideas.
Madison's considered the author of the Constitution. He's a deist. He was a deist.
But he didn't only implement his ideas.
Lots of ideas existed throughout time. The Ten Commandments were by no means the first codified law, in the world, and they probably, I'm thinking, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. That probably existed prior to the Ten Commandments and the escape of the Israelites, whomever they were, from Egypt and whatever form of quote unquote slavery that they might have been in at any given time. So, I mean, yes, it's written word and all that stuff has piled up, but the founding fathers probably took more from Rome and the establishment of the First Republic than anything.
Well, I suppose that's a possibility. Again, if you look at, as far as I know, there's not a written set of rules, a law that comes down in this form from any other, in any solid form from any other deal. I mean, obviously, in the Muslim religion, very violent, honor killings.
You don't know what you're talking about.
There's definitely radicals in Islam that prefer violent.
Yeah, there are some radicals, but the Muslims that I know are very peaceful, actually. We have a friend of ours who does a show here from this very same studio who is a very devout Muslim. So, just because you've heard some stories on talk radio does not mean that Muslims are violent people. But anyway, go ahead with
There's honor killings in all sorts of societies. Some are Muslim, and that much is true.
Yeah, go ahead with your whatever point you're driving at.
Well, as we jump to that, and I'm sure there are many good Muslims, as same as there's bad Christians, et cetera, et cetera.
That's correct.
I so far, I don't believe I've ever heard any good Muslim, moderate Muslim, denounce the killings and the atrocities that are going on. They simply don't acknowledge it.
What killings and what atrocities?
We have a show here called The Call to Freedom. It airs on LRN.FM. That's for Liberty Radio Network. And one of the hosts...
5 days a week.
Yeah, 5 days a week. One of the hosts is he an imam or...
He's an imam.
He's an imam. And he will go ahead and denounce any violence you want to hear on the air. You just call him any day of the week, any day of weekday of the week, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., and you can find out exactly what you want to hear as far as denouncements.
Yeah, he runs the mosque here in Keene, New Hampshire.
A denouncement of... violence isn't news.
There's plenty of it out there, by the way. So anyway, go ahead with what you're driving at.
Well, again, we talk about the. I'll go back to the Ten Commandments. I mean, there's all sorts of directions we can go with this, but the Ten Commandments. If you're not in this term one who believes in the Christian religion anyway, an agnostic, an atheist, there's no reason for you to follow any law because those laws are written, are supposedly come down from God to Moses, delivered to the people. And if you don't believe in God, you have no reason to believe in those laws. Therefore, you have no desire. There's no drive in you, no compunction.
So are you saying that the only reason why somebody would be a moral person is because they were told to by somebody claiming to be on a mission from God?
The only availability of any type of moral guidance or morality is religion.
So you're saying it's external. You're saying morality is all external, that it's not something you can discern internally from observation and reality?
I find this to be one of the most dangerous ideas that man has. So this is not a new idea. I believe that I went to prison because of this idea. That, when I turned like 15 or 16, I decided, all this hokey religious stuff, I just don't believe it anymore. So I started, because I had been taught the way you're talking about, suddenly I had no moral code. Because I hadn't been taught a moral code. I'd been taught, you better do this or you're going to go to hell.
You're gonna burn.
Well, then, finally I decide that this story doesn't make any darn sense. But I might as well do whatever I might as well just obey the law of nature or whatever, and that, kill or be killed, steal what you can get, that kind of thing, and ended my butt up in prison over time. If I had been taught, as I teach my son, that good action results in good actions. Don't you believe that? Don't you believe that if you act like a good person, you get good things from the world, from people, from, I don't know, fate or the universe or whatever?
Well, a couple things. When my kids were small and, they wanted a steak knife if they were 2 and they saw it on the table, I would not allow them to have it. There's certain things that you do as a good and loving parent that you do for the protection of your children,
sure,
whether they understand it or not.
Okay.
So in this case here, as a moral guideline, and I heard you say earlier, it's not really a religion if you're looking over your shoulder trying to see if you're breaking a law or not. Those are simply guidelines to help us be a good people. One, that treat each other, the greatest commandment, to love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
Those type of things. If you have no moral compass, if there is no deity, no higher power, there is no reason, there's no compunction.
Again,
to honor.
Let me restate what I was going to say. Let me restate what I was stating.
All right.
Do you believe that if you do good things, that good things happen to you?
I do agree with that.
If you do bad things happen to you.
I believe that's...
Then you don't need a stinking God, all right? You already have a moral basis. That's the truth.
I think those things are developed through your conscience. And for the psychos that have no conscience, that have never developed a concept of right and wrong, if there is no God, if there is no devil, if there is no God, there is no right, there is no wrong, and there's no reason to be kind, there's no reason not to kill, There's no reason.
There's
not to
every
steal
reason.
There's plenty of reasons.
The reason is if you are kind to people, you will get kindness in return. Like, that's a truth, and you've just acknowledged
it. Some people have no desire for that.
What's that?
Some people have no desire for that.
Well, that's why you have defense. That's why you have.
Okay, so I've been taught long ago, thieves don't like to be stolen from, robbers don't like to be robbed, arsonists don't like their houses set on fire, and murderers don't want to be killed. Look, bad people don't want bad things to happen to them. If you want good things to happen to you, you must act like a good person. And that doesn't need... I believe that God wrote that into the fabric of the universe. You don't actually need to believe somebody's particular story on God.
You don't need a priest to hand you a list of rules to discern what is right and what is wrong. These things are eminently, available through life experience. And the idea that there needs to be somebody out there, some authority, to tell you the difference between right and wrong is, I agree with you, Mark, is an incredibly dangerous concept. Thank you, Lewis, for your call here tonight. We've got a full hour to go here on our live Saturday edition. If you want to join us, we've got plenty of time for you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years. From My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, August 18th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.80 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,185 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,385. Antiwar.com reports this week President Trump signed a new order delegating additional powers to the Pentagon to carry out offensive cyber attacks against America's adversaries. The order greatly pares back limitations in place under the Obama administration. This is the latest in a series of orders designed to not only increase U.S. cyber attack capabilities, but also to obscure decision-making authority on carrying out major overseas attacks aimed at disrupting online networks for military purposes. Analysts are suggesting the order is related to speculation Russia might interfere with the midterm election and explicitly authorizes the Pentagon to preempt in-progress operations through offensive means. It's not clear how many major offensive cyber strikes the U.S. has carried out in recent years. In general, the specifics on who is behind any given attack are not made public, and the administration has not claimed credit for any of them. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports President Donald Trump said Friday he canceled his long-wanted military parade in Washington, D.C. because of its ridiculous $92 million price tag. The Pentagon, which offered the price estimate, postponed the parade on Thursday to an undetermined date in 2019. Trump explained on Friday his reasons, writing, "Maybe we will do something next year in D.C. when the cost comes way down." The cost is considerably higher than the $10 to $30 million originally estimated by White House Budget Director Mike Mulvaney, which was based on a cost of a 1991 Gulf War victory parade in Washington. That parade cost about $8 million. After adjusting for inflation and factoring in security, transportation, and other expenses, estimated cost ballooned to $92 million, considered the uppermost estimate. About $50 million would have come from the Defense Department and $42 million from the Department of Homeland Security. The parade was meant as a tribute to service members and would have coincided with Veterans Day and the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. Some have criticized the parade as excessive. One senior U.S. official told NBC News, "There's only one person who wants this parade," referring to Trump. In two tweets on Friday, Trump suggested he would attend a celebration in Paris on the weekend in November the parade was set for. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Thursday approved Teva Pharmaceuticals' generic version of Mylan NV's life-saving allergy injection EpiPen at a time when regulators are looking to lower healthcare costs. EpiPen is a handheld device that treats life-threatening allergic reactions by automatically injecting a dose of epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. The agency had already approved several epinephrine auto-injectors, including Adrenalic and Auvi-Q. In addition, Mylan launched authorized generic versions of EpiPen in 2016. There has also been a shortage of EpiPen in North America, Europe, and Canada since earlier this year due to manufacturing delays, and the FDA in May added the treatment to its list of drugs in shortage. FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb said this approval means patients living with severe allergies who require constant access to life-saving epinephrine should have a lower-cost option, as well as another approved product to help protect against potential drug shortages. Mylan has come under intense regulatory and political scrutiny over the past few years due to the surging price of EpiPen, which the drug maker acquired in 2007 and then raised the price for treatment. The company last year finalized a $465 million settlement resolving the U.S. Justice Department's claims of overcharging the government for the EpiPen. In 2016, Teva Pharmaceuticals failed to get the regulator's nod for a generic version of EpiPen. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Despite a long-held consensus pointing to the mid-20s as the final stage of brain maturation, a new study has found that the adolescent brain doesn't fully form until boys have avenged their father's murder.
New imaging studies suggest that the frontal cortex goes through extensive changes during the period of training when an adolescent boy prepares himself to track down and kill the man who took his father's life. But it's not until the boy stares deep into the murderer's eyes and then stabs him right in the heart that the two lobes fuse into a fully mature brain.
According to Dr. Laurie's findings, the myelin surrounding the teenage nerve synapses develops when boys stake out the home of their father's murderer, put themselves through grueling physical training, and fantasize again and again about how satisfying it will be when he finally makes the bastard who took everything from him beg for his life.
Now, if they let their father's killer slip through their grasp, or if they press the barrel of a gun to the back of his head and then realize they don't have what it takes to pull the trigger, then the amygdala is definitively stunted, and they'll have lifelong problems interpreting emotional information.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want as we launch into the third hour of the program here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got our Discord on-air call-in line rooms available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. Just jump into one of those rooms. We'll jump in there with you, and you'll be on the air with us, and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio. And in the studio, you've got me, Ian.
Riley.
And Mark.
Coming up, the interesting story that has hit the world headlines about China allegedly operating internment camps, re-education camps specifically, targeting some people who are Muslims there in the country. We can talk about that coming up here.
Is it the Uyghurs?
Uyghurs, yes, correct. We actually had to look up how to pronounce that particular word so we can talk about that. Oh, you did? Oh, good for you.
Kept telling you over and over.
Okay. Well, anyway, so you can talk about anything that you want here on Free Talk Live. And Riley Blake is with us from Anarcho Agenda, which is a podcast that you can download at anarchoagenda.libsyn.com. You're also the editor and daily creator of the Daily Digest, Riley, which
yes, I am, and it does keep me busy pretty much every day.
It's a short version of Free Talk Live. We do a 3-hour radio show that turns into a 2-hour podcast after you take out all the basically the commercial breaks from the radio show and the news breaks, and you then take that 2-hour podcast and you whittle that down to 20 to 30 minutes of what you think is the best bits in the show, and then it's released on our full podcast feed, which, if you're a podcast subscriber, you already know about that. If you're not, you can go to feeds.freetalklive.com. You can find our full podcast there, as well as one that only has Riley's Daily Digest and other variants on our podcast delivery over at feeds.freetalklive.com.
I'd highly recommend checking out the digest, especially if you don't want to listen to the entire show and just you don't have a lot of time and you're just commuting from work to wherever you're going and you just want to get Free Talk Live.
Yeah, a lot of people, their commutes are, half hour, 20 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. The digest is really great for them, especially if you have one of those little podcast player things that have a little speed up version, so you can get, you can get the high points, what Riley thinks are the high points of the show, and
I might be kind of biased, so there'll be some things that I really like and some things that you may not.
That's fine. You're the one putting the work in, so you get to decide. So check it out, feeds.freetalklive.com. I know, Riley, you had done a little bit of research in the last hour. We were talking, the discussion came back to religion. We started the show out tonight with the news about the Satanic Temple and their Baphomet statue down in Arkansas. They're trying to get it placed at the state capitol grounds because the state capitol has recently erected a statue to the Ten Commandments. And then eventually that led into just a larger discussion about religion and morality, as we were just having a moment ago. But you had looked into objectivism, and I forget what the reason why we were even talking about. How did Ayn Rand even come up tonight? I don't even remember
I forget
what it was.
The reason why, too.
Okay.
But I basically found a bit of a blurb.
Oh, it was a question on charity.
Yeah, it was a question on charity. And I believe the caller made a comment about objectivism and Ayn Rand.
And you said you were a fan of Rand, but you weren't sure exactly what she would say about charity or altruism?
But I did find something from the Atlas Society on charity. And basically, in short, charity is the way objectivists would look at charity. And as I understand it, they would look at charity as an investment in the future of humanity. And if you're engaging in charity, you do it because it's something you value and something you want to do, and not just to sacrifice yourself and your entire life to devoting yourself to doing something for somebody else. You're doing it because you want to benefit the person around you for yours and their good.
Well, absolutely. I think that, and I'm not an objectivist. I'm not a fan of Ayn Rand by any means, but I do agree with the idea that pretty much all human action, even that which is labeled as altruistic, is actually a selfish act, because when you are helping another person, it feels good.
Oh, sure.
People want to help
really
others because, and as I was pointing out, part of the reason why charity, matters to people is because they can empathize, because they can put themselves in the shoes of another and say, wow, boy, I wouldn't like it if my house burned down. Here's $20 or whatever, $200 to help you, Mr. Person who had your house burned down, get a new house. Or I wouldn't want to be homeless, so here's some money for some homeless programs that will help people get jobs and get back on their feet. And ultimately, that's people are doing that because they want to. They want to feel like they've been able to help somebody. And that's the reason why people get into business as well. I understand that the motivations from some people's perspective seem different. Oh, they're trying to make a profit. Well, it's okay to make a profit.
Exactly, because they're providing you a good and service that you want in exchange for money.
But you cannot provide somebody with something they don't want and have a successful business, right?
No.
So you have to give people, this is like one of the, it's not really a secret in life that if you give people what they want, then you will get what you want in return. I mean, this is like sort of an age-old, I don't know if it's outlined in every religion in the world, but it wouldn't surprise me if some sort of similar teaching like that was fairly common out there. You want to be successful, whether it's in charity or whether it's in business, you better give people what they want, or it's not going to work out for you. Unless you work in the government, in which case then you just steal it from people.
One of the things that sort of, the golden rule comes to mind is do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And I think that to some extent that just doesn't work.
Not if you're, like a masochist or something like that.
Well, I mean, I suppose you could take it so far as a masochist, but let's, so for me, for instance, I'm the kind of guy that likes, I want my motivating talk to be sort of rough, in your face, confronting. Get your butt out of bed and get to work. You've got a family to support, that kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I like my motivating talk. But there are many little delicate flowers in this world that do not find that particular talk to be motivating, right? They find it to be the opposite. They find it demoralizing. Because, I can't believe somebody talked to me like that. And look, if you're going to follow the golden rule says do unto them as you would have them do unto you. So I would use rough talk in order to get these people motivated. Well, it often doesn't work. So I would say that, in fact, do unto people as they would have done unto them. And that you'll probably be better off. And ultimately, that's what businesses do all the time. They're just trying to provide people a better service.
Our toll-free number here, if you want to join the discussion, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In international news, CNN reporting on China, which has vociferously defended its human rights record at the United Nations after accusations have been made that more than 1 million of these Uyghur Muslims, it's spelled Uyghur, Uyghur Muslims have been imprisoned in political re-education camps. The UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination has been hearing testimony on the Chinese government's treatment of its Muslim Uyghur minority, among other issues. In their submission to the committee, the Germany-based World Uyghur Congress, the WUC, said they estimated at least 1 million Uyghurs were being held in political indoctrination camps as of July of this year. Quote, detentions are extra-legal, with no legal representation allowed throughout the process of arrest and incarceration, said their report, adding that there have been widespread reports of torture. Responding to questions Monday, a representative of the Chinese government called the accusations of mass imprisonment completely untrue. Xinjiang citizens, including the Uyghurs, enjoy equal freedoms and rights, according to the spokesman for China's United Front Work Department, telling the UN panel, quote, there is no arbitrary detention or lack of freedom of religion and belief, unquote. He said there is no such thing as re-education centers, but did add that criminals convicted of minor offenses have been assigned to, quote, vocational, educational, and employment training centers with a view to assisting in their rehabilitation. He says they are not subject to any arbitrary detention or ill treatment there. In a tweet following China's statement, the WUC said China, quote, continues to deny reality, but it cannot continue to hide this crime against humanity.
So re-education camps are bad, but schools, education centers run by the government are good.
We'll tell you more about what is being alleged. Your calls and thoughts are welcome. Re-education camps, could they be coming to the United States soon? It's Free Talk Live.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. Zencash recently surpassed 17,000 nodes, which means Zencash has one of the largest node systems of any cryptocurrency. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technological improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available for multiple distributions. Learn more at zencash.com. Zencash.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses on the setup page, and then load the app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. AnyPay.global.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and we're doing another live edition on Saturday night, as we do 7 nights a week here. Toll-free number if you want to join us on the radio is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, we are on Discord at the Discord chat server that we've got set up over at discord.lrn.fm, and you can join one of the call-in lines that we have there, and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And that us tonight is Ian,
Riley,
and Mark.
As we continue here, we're talking about Chinese internment camps or Chinese re-education camps, at least this according to a group called the World Uyghur Congress. These are the Muslim Uyghurs. It's a minority group in China and maybe elsewhere, but it's in China, in which they're saying that there are maybe as many as 1 million of these Uyghurs who are being held in political indoctrination camps as of July of this year. The Chinese government, however, is denying this statement, and the WUC says that China is continuing to deny reality but cannot continue to hide this crime against humanity. China Human Rights Defenders, a Hong Kong-based NGO, that's non-governmental organization, said the, quote, body of evidence of arbitrary detention, torture, and ill treatment is overwhelming. Speaking after China's presentation, Gay McDougall, a vice chairwoman of the UN committee, said, quote, we have to have more than a denial of allegations, unquote, and asked for more evidence from China to counter the claims of the rights groups. For months, the Chinese government, again, this report from CNN.com, the Chinese government has allegedly been secretly cracking down on the Muslim residents of Xinjiang, a province in far western China on the borders of Central Asia, according to reports leaking out of the heavily policed region, cited in presentations to the UN hearing last week. The latest alleged crackdown follows a spate of largely small-scale incidents of violence, including protests and attacks on police officers, in which the Chinese authorities have blamed on the Muslim Uyghur separatists, seeking to establish an independent state. So it sounds like they may be secessionists there in northwestern China.
It's not uncommon for people who, don't feel represented by their government to want to create their own. They want to have their own independence.
Exactly. The United States did it when the British government was overly powerful.
Right, and ultimately, I don't know if they covered in the CNN version of the story, but I was looking originally at the Wall Street Journal, which of course locks down their content beyond a paywall. If you've looked at one article, they lock you down immediately if you ever try to come back to it. But there they were talking about the government in these re-education camps, or allegedly telling these Muslims that there is no God. And that's what they're trying to essentially educate out of these people, is that the official state position in China is atheism, and that's one of their issues here with these Muslims. They're trying to convince them to stop believing in God. The Human Rights Watch claimed millions of Xinjiang residents were having their DNA, fingerprints, and retinal scans collected. Earlier in 2017, the region's Muslims were banned from wearing long beards or veils in public. According to a since-deleted document posted on a Xinjiang government website, the main goal of the scheme was to, quote, fully and accurately verify the real number of Xinjiang's population, to collect the images, fingerprints, iris scans, blood types, and DNA biometrics of those between the ages of 12 and 65. Now, if that happened here in the United States, how many people here would willingly line up and just submit all of that information to the government?
I would hope not that many, because it seems like an overreach of governmental power. But if it comes on the heels of some terrorist attack or something that says, hey, if you do this, you're going to get benefited, I'm sure somebody will fall in line.
They already have it. Basically, they have programs to identify kids if they get lost or stolen or whatever.
Yeah, but you usually have to go down voluntarily to the police station to have your kid fingerprinted for that program.
All you need is some crisis that occurs, and then you've got your reason. Okay, you said whether or not the United States government does it. It does it. These local governments do this. So
I don't know if they're doing iris scans quite yet at that level.
If they ramped it up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, something catastrophic occurs.
Yeah.
That's how this goes.
Sure.
Problem, reaction, solution, right? That's how the government does this whole thing. So they wait for something terrible to happen. Don't worry, something terrible will happen to a kid at some point. And then, we need to get all the DNA and all the iris scans and the dental imprints and this, that, and the other. Everything that we need to get. This is helping us solve the problem. We'll bring the FBI director out, and he'll give an important speech about how every American can do their patriotic duty and blah 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 blah.
Stop the terrorists, right?
Right, and
just submit all your biometrics.
Right, and this is going to be the new thing for the census or whatever.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to bring up the census here because a lot of Americans are very obediently filling out this census, which does way more than what it's constitutionally, tasked to do. Every 10 years, they're just supposed to ask constitutionally, as I understand it, how many people are in the household. But they ask dozens, and from what I understand, dozens of questions. I've never actually looked at it because I refused to even answer question number 1 when they came by here. So it's something to think about.
I asked, when the census worker came to my house, I asked her all the questions that she asked me.
That's cute.
And I wrote them down.
You wrote her answers down?
Yeah. I threw them away after she left because I don't really care. I just want people to understand how invasive this crap is.
Yeah.
It really is invasive, and people just willingly give up information.
Well, and that's what I wanted people to think about here, because not only is this, terrible news out of China that they allegedly have re-education camps, and there may be as many as 1 million of these, people that have been forced into them. And when I asked, could this happen here, or will re-education camps be coming to the United States next? I mean, I wasn't joking about that. Just because it's happening somewhere else in the world doesn't mean that it's impossible here. And if you have the idea of, well, that can't happen here.
Oh, it can.
Well,
I
right.
mean, I believe it was Mark that brought up, or you, Ian, that brought up public schools, the public school system at the end of the last segment.
Yeah.
And, we have kids spending 12, 13 hours a day in a public school sometimes.
Which is straight up indoctrination,
right.
Pro-state, pro-government indoctrination. No doubt about it.
So yeah, probably a little leftist. Certainly everybody listening to me has some problem with something that the government schools are teaching. I mean, the teachers have a problem with some of the things that the government schools are teaching. The administrators have problems with it over and over again. I mean, you can't, from a sociological standpoint, you can't argue that this is indoctrination. This is what indoctrination looks like. Now, whether you consider that a loaded word or not, well, that's up to you. It just depends on how much of the stuff they're teaching you agree or disagree with. That's what it comes down to. But it is indoctrination.
In February, the World Uyghur Congress accused the Chinese government of imprisoning thousands of Xinjiang Muslims in giant political education camps. Xinjiang authorities have not responded to repeated requests for information from CNN on the political education camps or responses to activist allegations, but state media outlets have covered these facilities and touted their effectiveness in de-radicalizing the locals. Information in Xinjiang is tightly controlled. The province was cut off entirely from the internet for 10 months in 2009 and is still subject to greater censorship and surveillance than the other parts of China. So if you thought the Chinese internet censorship was bad in other
Beijing.
places, Beijing or Guangzhou or however you pronounce that.
I can't imagine why these people want independence.
Yeah, right. We're coming up here in moments. You can share your thoughts with us. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. It's Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you to go this way? You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Democrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and we invite you to join us here on the radio waves. We're talking about the scary concept of re-education camps. And yes, it's China that we're talking about this, and the Chinese government is denying them. However, there's some pretty scary stuff going on in the northwestern province of Xinjiang, where residents have been having their DNA fingerprints and retinal scans, including also, blood type, DNA biometrics, images of everybody between the ages of 12 and 65. And there's some allegations from the World Uyghur Congress, the Uyghur Muslims, saying that as many as 1 million Uyghur Muslims have been interned in these re-education camps, where allegations are the Chinese government is attempting to basically get them to stop believing in God. So we can continue with you in the studio tonight. It's Ian,
Riley,
and Mark.
And, of course, you can bring up whatever you want. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. A lot of libertarians got to know Tom Woods during the Ron Paul campaigns of 2008 and 2012. Tom is a New York Times best-selling author. He's written over a dozen books, including The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. And since September of 2013, Tom Woods has been putting out The Tom Woods Show every single weekday, which means he's got about 1,200 episodes so far, including great guests like Ron Paul, Judge Andrew Napolitano, David Stockman, and hundreds more. Topics including war, the Federal Reserve, net neutrality, the FDA, Austrian economics, and other subjects of interest to libertarians. You can find The Tom Woods Show online at tomwoods.com or search for Tom Woods Show in your favorite podcatcher. As we continue here, a little bit more from CNN in their report. They say here that the World Uyghur Congress has accused the Chinese government of imprisoning thousands of Xinjiang Muslims in giant political education camps. The Xinjiang government has not responded. In fact, they even cut off the province entirely from the internet for 10 months. You know, a lot of people here say they would never be able to live if it weren't for the internet. and they had no internet for 10 months. Not even the censored version of the internet that the rest of China gets.
It's a little terrifying when a government can take away your means of communication from you.
Absolutely. And despite this, details of an alleged political indoctrination program and ongoing crackdown have spread out via diaspora networks and through Chinese media. In May, pictures were spread on social media of Uyghur Muslims being forced to welcome Communist Party officials into their homes to, quote, maintain social stability and achieve lasting security, unquote. China has consistently denied discriminating against Uyghurs and Muslims more broadly, pointing to laws which prohibit the oppression of any ethnic groups.
We have our laws. It's not going to happen.
See? Yeah. I mean, we're the government.
Look,
of course we follow
this is the paperwork.
our own rules.
See? We have the paperwork. It's all in order. Don't worry about it. There's
no story here. Go away, media.
Exactly.
For years, China has justified its policies in Xinjiang on fears of terrorism and separatist violence, tying in the threat from radical Islam in the region to Washington's war on terror and the spread of ISIS in the Middle East and beyond. So the same story is happening in China. It's a different level than it is here, but you're right, Mark, in your speculation that if they wanted Americans to line up and give them a saliva sample and an iris scan, all they would have to do is gin up some more fear over terror, maybe have another false flag attack or something like that,
right?
And then say, look, we're sorry, but this is what we have to do. If we want to keep our freedom, you've got to give up your freedom.
Yep,
or some nonsense
that's
doublespeak.
what they say all the time.
Those arrested by the authorities, however, have included moderates and academics with no links to radical organizations, including Iham Tohti, a researcher on Uyghur-Han relations, who was jailed for life in 2014 on charges of, quote, separatism.
For life?
Yeah, so if you are an advocate of secession in China, apparently you go to prison for the rest of your life.
I'm glad it's not that way in America because I am an advocate for secession.
As am I. And yes, thankfully we do have some semblance of free speech still here in the United States. In an editorial Sunday in the nationalist, state-run tabloid Global Times, the paper said Xinjiang had been, quote, salvaged from the verge of massive turmoil by the so-called strong leadership of the Communist Party. The state media editorial said, quote, it has avoided the fate of becoming China's Syria or China's Libya. It said the paper claimed the actions of the Chinese government in Xinjiang had, quote, saved countless lives and blamed the West for smearing their efforts. Quote, we must hold on to our belief that keeping turmoil away from Xinjiang is the greatest human right. Now, that's a strange way to define rights.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oppression are rights.
Keeping turmoil away from an area, what they claim is turmoil, is a human right. That you have a right to be away from turmoil, that you have a right to not have anything bad happen in your life. Is that what they're trying to suggest?
You have a right to protect yourself.
Sure, but
that much is true.
But to be protected from turmoil from a government or someone else, I don't know.
Speaking to a United States congressional hearing in Xinjiang in July, U.S. representative to the UN Economic and Social Council said detainees were being told to renounce their, quote, ethnic identities, religious beliefs, and mainstream cultural and religious practices. She said further, there are even disturbing reports that young children have been sent to state-run orphanages if even one of their parents is detained in the internment camps. The toll-free number here, if you want to share your thoughts with us, is 855-450-FREE. We go to the phones to your calls and thoughts. David's on the line in San Francisco, listening online. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, how are you? You know, a couple of things I was going to raise about this. I'm wondering if those camps are privatized. You remember...
Why would they be privatized? Everything in China is government-run, basically.
Well, if you know about China... You know, it hasn't really been communist for years. If unions are considered some form of communism, unions are basically outlawed in China.
Unions aren't a form of communism. Unions are just a group of workers who've organized for better working conditions in most cases.
Well, I'm glad you said that because to listen to the typical neocon...
Are we neocons?
No, clearly not. Then. But the point is that China hasn't been communist for a lot of years. They've pretended to be, but they the idea that if you know when Richard Nixon introduced the Chinese into the world economy, Before Richard Nixon did that with his détente, he basically 2 billion people were ignored by the world. It was kind of one of the most amazing, stupid scandals of history that for about 30 years, total ignoring of 2 billion people, and the idea that they could have any role in society or in world development or anything. Total. Very strange world.
Well, whether or not China has been communist, officially they're still communist. The Communist Party's in charge.
Communism has never existed on the planet.
But, I mean, even though there's more market activity, there's more, I'm not going to call it a free market, but, they've gone in a direction of a less controlled market in the last few decades. Even though that may be true, what does that have to do with the allegations of whether or not they're running re-education camps? I mean, just because the U.S. government isn't a declared socialist government doesn't mean that there isn't socialism in play in the United States. So what's the point you're trying to make? Are you saying the camps don't exist, or what?
No. Do you remember, 10, 20 years ago, everybody was worried about FEMA camps getting developed in America.
I don't think everyone was worried about that. There were certain conspiracy theorists out there touting that particular viewpoint.
Right, yeah, and so now we've got ICE camps there, which are privatized, and $900 a day to keep kids in a cage and feed them cold bologna sandwiches. $900 a day for privatized companies to do this.
That's a great example of internment camps right here, right now in the United States.
Yeah, exactly. So when you start looking at where the Uyghurs are, and you look at the ancient trade routes, Marco Polo, a couple of thousand years ago, the idea that the trade routes through the Kashmir and up into the Uyghur territory, this is going to be the trade routes for the Middle East and will be for the next hundreds of years.
I'm not sure what you're driving at. We'll let you make a point here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Visit GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here, even in these remaining moments. We got enough time for you if you want to join us now. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. And we've got Discord, where we've got multiple on-air call-in lines where you can join us and, again, talk about what you want, except if you're on our Discord lines, you'll sound even better than regular old phone calls. Because it's basically a totally high-quality digital way to connect with us. And you can also connect with other Free Talk Live listeners in our Discord chat, which is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week over at discord.lrn.fm. Something else you can do to help Free Talk Live is to become a Free Talk Live amplifier over at amp.freetalklive.com. It's $5 a month. And that is money that we invest into the show so we can get on more radio stations around the country.
And that's important because Free Talk Live has a very important mission of spreading liberty around the United States, around the world. So I would recommend donating $5, $10, $15 a month to the show. It's a great show.
We ask for $5, but if you want to do more, you're certainly welcome to.
Thanks, Riley.
We definitely appreciate it, and we're working on a couple of new things that hopefully we'll be able to tell you more about with the AMP program coming up in the next few weeks. And once again, go to amp.freetalklive.com. You get some cool perks like access to the AMP-only call-in lines, the AMP-only Facebook group, the AMP-only chat rooms on the Discord server, and more. Go to amp.freetalklive.com and you can learn more about that. Once again, that's amp.freetalklive.com. Back to David in San Francisco. You were talking about the Uyghurs, the Muslims in northwest China, the Xinjiang province.
Wrapping the Silk Road into that somehow.
Yeah, you were making a comment about that. Go ahead with what you were trying to get at, David.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, right now I'm on the Wikipedia Xinjiang page, and it's also tied to the Uyghur Autonomous Region. And if you look at that throughout history, well, I'll give you an example. You remember the Trojan War, famous old Trojan War
Sure.
of ancient Greece. If you look into the history of that, ancient Greece the port was in Troy, but they wanted to sell their goods further inland. But they didn't want to pay duty to Troy, so they basically tore apart the city so that they could land there for free. And they killed God knows how many thousands of their own men, and the whole city was decimated just so they could save a buck on transporting goods. And so if you start looking at Kashmir, which is the entryway to that Xinjiang province, that whole area has been disputed because of some crap maps that the British created 100 years ago. And they intentionally did it when short of 100 years ago, the 1940s. And they intentionally drew bad lines so that they would be able to call it disputed areas that everybody has always been fighting over. and so that would allow the British to come in and recapture it because those people are just too uncivilized to run that land.
It's a good argument for it. This is what conquerors have done throughout the ages: is they find the two sides that are battling, pretend to take the one side until that side wins, and then they co-opt that side too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when you start looking at the Silk Road, you look at that Wikipedia page I was just talking about. It describes the turmoil that's been going on through the Kashmir and the Silk Road. And when you start looking at the Uyghurs, they're basically the Trojans of the area. Nobody wants to pay them duty rights for, hauling endless trucks or railroad cars or whatever through their territory. And so they're sent to re-education camps rather than, giving them a job. So it's a, and I've mentioned this before, that, ISIS is a creation of Dick Cheney. Part of the real scam of the Middle East war that we've been doing for 14 years is that most of that oil would be sent into pipelines and shipped to China's sweatshops rather than brought to America. That's why gasoline prices continue to go up in America, because the sweatshops is where they really want to send these goods or send the energy.
David, thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Interesting perspective, and sounds like he's pretty knowledgeable about the Uyghurs. First time I'd ever heard of them. China's a big place, and we don't.
I
can't
believe we haven't discussed the Uyghurs on the show, or you just don't remember. I think.
Yeah, maybe I don't recall. What have we talked about with them before? Do you know?
Well, that they're a Muslim subset, and China's been messing with them for years.
Huh. I mean, I've heard about the Christians having a tough time in China, but I don't know if I've heard about the Muslims.
It pales in comparison.
It sounds like it. Sarah's in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, so it seems like we're going to have a Democrat, socialist, a female Muslim Palestinian lawyer, and I think she got the primary. So I think she's going to be the next senator out of Detroit. She's going to take the place. She's a Palestinian.
What's her name?
Muslim.
What's her name?
You know what? I didn't. Well, I don't. I did not
missed
really
that detail. She's just happy to know there's a socialist going to get. You think she's going to get elected?
Yeah, it's pretty much predicted that she's going to get the iconic the civil rights figure that he's going to leave. She's going to get that district.
Well, nothing's going to pull Detroit out of a economic morass like a little socialism.
Actually, no, it won't.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm joking there. It's going to make things worse.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit is one of the worst places to live in the United States. It has absolutely spiraled down into a total pit of wealth redistribution and government mismanagement and failure.
The U.S. rep really doesn't have that much to do with how things are going in their particular district.
Oh, wait. I thought, was this state rep or, U.S. rep? I thought it was...
That's my understanding.
I think she's going to get the Senate. I think she's got the primary. I think it's a shoe-in for her.
So you think she's going to win the Democratic primary and then win the election? Is your prediction?
I heard her speech. She's very popular. She's expected to win and take over.
But you don't remember her name. You heard her speak.
Her name's Talib.
Talib?
Yeah. It's Rashida Tlaib. And I think she's going to be the House of Representatives here. I don't think she's going to be a senator.
Okay, there you go. Well, Sarah, you seem to believe in communism. Do you support the re-education camps that the Chinese government has been forcing Muslims into?
Well, you know what? I'm concerned about the social democrat communist people, Cortez, and this lady running for,
No. You said you're a communist, and so we were just speaking for the last half hour about these re-education camps, these alleged camps that they say that the activist groups are saying there are as many as 1 million Muslims, the Uyghur Muslims there in China that have been forced into these re-education camps because they don't go along with the communist, plans. They don't fully tote the Communist Party line. Huh?
No, they have so much fake news and the youth twist communism to make it
Are you
so
saying
bad.
you don't believe that the Chinese would have re-education camps?
No, because the communists here, we want to give free health care. That's what we're doing here. We're running for office.
Sarah, There's no such thing as free health care. It's going to be paid for by somebody, by robbery. We call it taxation.
Well, everybody pitches in. Everybody gets a
No, they do not. They do not pitch in voluntarily.
What if somebody doesn't want to pitch in?
Well, you know what? We all pitch in. That's the whole system.
No.
What if I don't want to pitch in?
What if someone doesn't want to pitch in? You're talking
That's socialism for you. You're going to pitch in or you're going to prison.
You're going to a camp. Right, Sarah?
Well, you know what? You took money from us to get free education. Now you beat up on other people that
I didn't take
money from anybody.
Yeah, I didn't take anything.
Why did you take Why did you take everybody else's money to get a free education?
Are you talking about when I was a teenager?
Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about in. Okay?
Yeah, she's right. I did go to the government college on a government scholarship.
The Pell Grant that you got for performance?
No, it was state. It was state grant. It was a state thing.
Right, the Florida Academic Scholarship Program.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He got that from performance.
Give you money.
Yeah, I paid taxes too, so that money was taken from me. So what's wrong with me getting my money back? I want you to answer my question. What's going to happen to somebody that doesn't want to go along with your government health care program? What if they just don't want to go with that?
Well, I have no idea what's going to happen.
That is ignorance. That's willful ignorance. I'll tell you what's going to happen. There's going to be men with guns.
Same thing that happens to anybody who doesn't pay a tax. They're either going to have their house taken from them, or they're going to be thrown in jail.
Right, by men with guns who will kill them if they don't voluntarily
Every
go to
government
jail.
program should be important enough to throw somebody in jail, and if some people aren't going to want to go, so the enforcers will then shoot them. It should be important enough to kill people over.
Or you can go to the Reeducation camp that they'll probably put up.
I probably need that.
Hey, thanks for the call tonight, Sarah. We'll talk to you again, I'm sure. Check out Riley at his show, anarchoagenda.libsyn.com for the Anarcho Agenda, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Between now and then, you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Questioning Authority is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, August 18th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.80 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,185 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,385. Antiwar.com reports this week President Trump signed a new order delegating additional powers to the Pentagon to carry out offensive cyber attacks against America's adversaries. The order greatly pares back limitations in place under the Obama administration. This is the latest in a series of orders designed to not only increase U.S. cyber attack capabilities, but also to obscure decision-making authority on carrying out major overseas attacks aimed at disrupting online networks for military purposes. Analysts are suggesting the order is related to speculation Russia might interfere with the midterm election and explicitly authorizes the Pentagon to preempt in-progress operations through offensive means. It's not clear how many major offensive cyber strikes the U.S. has carried out in recent years. In general, the specifics on who is behind any given attack are not made public, and the administration has not claimed credit for any of them. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports President Donald Trump said Friday he canceled his long-wanted military parade in Washington, D.C. because of its ridiculous $92 million price tag. The Pentagon, which offered the price estimate, postponed the parade on Thursday to an undetermined date in 2019. Trump explained on Friday his reasons, writing, "Maybe we will do something next year in D.C. when the cost comes way down." The cost is considerably higher than the $10 to $30 million originally estimated by White House Budget Director Mike Mulvaney, which was based on a cost of a 1991 Gulf War victory parade in Washington. That parade cost about $8 million. After adjusting for inflation and factoring in security, transportation, and other expenses, estimated cost ballooned to $92 million, considered the uppermost estimate. About $50 million would have come from the Defense Department and $42 million from the Department of Homeland Security. The parade was meant as a tribute to service members and would have coincided with Veterans Day and the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. Some have criticized the parade as excessive. One senior U.S. official told NBC News, "There's only one person who wants this parade," referring to Trump. In two tweets on Friday, Trump suggested he would attend a celebration in Paris on the weekend in November the parade was set for. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Thursday approved Teva Pharmaceuticals' generic version of Mylan NV's life-saving allergy injection EpiPen at a time when regulators are looking to lower healthcare costs. EpiPen is a handheld device that treats life-threatening allergic reactions by automatically injecting a dose of epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. The agency had already approved several epinephrine auto-injectors, including Adrenalic and Auvi-Q. In addition, Mylan launched authorized generic versions of EpiPen in 2016. There has also been a shortage of EpiPen in North America, Europe, and Canada since earlier this year due to manufacturing delays, and the FDA in May added the treatment to its list of drugs in shortage. FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb said this approval means patients living with severe allergies who require constant access to life-saving epinephrine should have a lower-cost option, as well as another approved product to help protect against potential drug shortages. Mylan has come under intense regulatory and political scrutiny over the past few years due to the surging price of EpiPen, which the drug maker acquired in 2007 and then raised the price for treatment. The company last year finalized a $465 million settlement resolving the U.S. Justice Department's claims of overcharging the government for the EpiPen. In 2016, Teva Pharmaceuticals failed to get the regulator's nod for a generic version of EpiPen. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Following the conclusion of yet another day marked by a litany of tedious and unavoidable realities, The Onion spoke with sociologist Dr. Timothy Coghill, who told reporters that the nation would be forced to go through all of it again tomorrow.
As our projections demonstrate, tomorrow, like today, every man, woman, and child in America will wake up and do it all again. All of it, including traffic, the workday, bad coffee, your kid's soccer game, laundry, the struggling economy.
Statistical evidence also showed that the nation would once again endure traumatic childhood memories, Twitter, anxiety, poverty, consumerism, rampant abuses of the legal system,
Joint pain, racial inequality, global warming, the steady erosion of civil liberties, violence, loneliness, disease, unresolved intimacy issues, the ravages of age, hunger, sexual frustration, existential dread, the looming specter of death.
For more on this unending story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Welcome. This is the awkward moment where I have to pretend I'm live right now when I'm obviously not, unless, well, all right. I remember the first time I did the show, I made a joke about having, doing it in the woods and having a mixer that was just a rotten log with bear shit and rocks and pine cones for knobs. But anyway, so I'm here right in, well, actually, this is the Tansy Nature Preserve, but yeah, I'm here with a special guest, and as a special guest, man, the heat does crazy shit to your brain. Anyways, I'm here with my special guest, David Vincelette. You all might know him from the freehanover.com, or I pretty much mention him every other show, because a lot of shit's going on, and whenever Dave's on and it's a pre-recorded special, you know that what that means. It's a Shantytown special, or is it Shanty or Shanty?
Shantytown.
Oh, Shanty. Okay, so it's spelled S-H-A-N-T-Y.
Yep.
But it's a play on words of the
Shanty also, English.
Which
I mean English from the subcontinent.
Okay, so it's Indian. Okay, I see. And what does Shanti mean?
Peace.
It means peace. Yeah. And was it Clausen who came up with the term, or someone else?
No, kids from Dartmouth came up with it years ago because I gave materials to build shanties on the green. Some people came and attacked them in the night and smashed them and knocked them down. It became national news. And but they were protesting apartheid, and that people came to me because I collect used building materials. I just needed some parts for things. And I gave them some stuff that got smashed up. So I'm used to having my stuff smashed up, I guess I should say.
Oh, true, and we'll get into all of it. So there's so much to get into, but Dave, if you wouldn't mind giving, for some people who haven't been following since the last Shantytown special, would you mind giving sort of your synopsis of the past 4 months' events?
Sure. The last 4 months I've been on the verge of foreclosure auction, holding off against that. I've been evicted from one property, one of 3 properties I have down here, and now I'm facing foreclosure again, battling that. And
if you don't mind me interrupting, so why is that? Why are you facing foreclosure on those?
Well, they fenced me in, so I no longer have a driveway or a fire lane to my property, so I can't rent rooms, I can't make a living.
And they meaning the town of Hanover.
Yep.
Otherwise better known as the enforcement arm of the Dartmouth Mafia.
Yes, they are a cabal.
And I guess just while we're on this subject, and how does Dartmouth benefit from what the town's doing right now?
Well, Dartmouth and Hanover joined in a group conspiracy to pollute the brook with asphalt waste and hide it when I discovered it. And they've been abusing me since 2005 pretty much, where they tore down my farmhouse. But they're, on one side of town, they're spending $50 million cleaning up one toxic waste dump, and over here on this side they're still dumping toxic waste, and people don't realize what's going on. But the water here, which we drink and which we have grandfathered federal rights to protect it, Clean Water Act, it's supposed to protect our right to drink water, to fish in it, to bathe in it, and that water is the water I christened my children in when they were born, and that this is where they live. So for them to begin polluting the water and carrying on about it led me to have to battle back
and
measure up.
You don't mind removing? I'm sort of squeamish. No, okay.
Sorry.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's see if the camera could get that. It's some centipede or something. It's probably poisonous.
Probably.
Oh,
Probably highly poisonous.
Well, I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt it. So, okay. And so when you mean I don't get out into the woods much often. So, and when you say toxic waste, what do you mean by that? Like radioactive shit, or?
Well, in this instance, no. But I mean, some of the parking lots they take up are taken up from the hospital or from